it's Adam from CollectionDX, and today I'm reviewing from the St. Cloth Myth line by Bandai, Hypnos. That's right, it's the other twin god. This is brother to Thanatos, who was the first god released a few months back. And now his twin brother's here, so special thanks to Angles.com for getting this to me. They, of course, sponsor all of our St. Cloth Myth reviews. And actually, before I dive in, so there you go, you can see the box is a bit bigger than normal. Looks actually the same size as the Thanatos God of Death box, and looks to be just as thick. We'll show you why in a second. They were also nice enough to include the metal plate for this release. There we go. Hey, look, it's me. Hello in YouTube land. Alright, so inside, I'm going to cut everything out of the package in a moment, but as you can see, it's the usual book package, window box, lots of goodies. And I got all excited when I saw this. For you Saint Seiya nerds like me, they include the box that Pandora opens to release Death and Sleep, or Thanatos and Hypnos. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this bad boy open and check back in with you after I'm done kind of taking stuff out. Alright, I've broken open the package. I wanted to kind of give folks a close-up look. I had a couple comments asking if we could give a close-up of the accessories and the different hands, and I'm not going to waste time showing you each individual piece, but I am going to give you a close-up of what's in there. This is the backdrop behind the box. This is actually, I believe, the temple where Thanatos faces off against Seiya. So this illustration changes. Traditionally, it's been things like the zodiac signs and Poseidon. It looked like the Poseidon temple. They include a robe. We'll get into that a little later on. It's in a package taped to the back. They include a booklet, and seeing as how I still haven't learned Japanese, however, the illustrations are very clear, as you can see. And so even if you don't read Japanese, and the illustrations are pretty good and make pretty clear sense of what's there, show you what's come before in the line. And if you hear the ding of AOL Instant Messenger, I'm 90% sure it's Necro Dave. Why, look at that, it is! So anyway, let me see here. So next we also got in the package, they give you a sticker. If you have one of the aftermarket stands, you can just slap that on there. Some of the earlier releases did not include these, but they're kicking around. So here we go. Here's what's in the package. It's a big one, much like Thanatos, lots of parts and pieces. See? Lots to keep track of. Looks like a, Type 3 body. Figure is all plastic. Feet will be die-cast metal. This is two trays stacked on top of each other. Of course, there's the Hypnos feathers, peacock wings, and this is the rest of the outfit. I haven't opened this yet. I don't know what the die-cast content mix is yet. And this is the dummy body. Here's, like I mentioned earlier, there's the Pandora's box. Alright, let's start breaking it out and getting a better look here. And before I start taking the package apart and dressing them up, I did want to show you it is a Type 3 body. You hear me say that a lot in these reviews, and basically they went through a couple generations of bodies, and as they did, the articulation got more sophisticated. Like a Generation 1 body just literally had a hinge that allowed you to rotate that forward and back. That was it. Gen 3 body here has the nice, joints within joints, ball socket on the leg. I know the black's hard to see in there, but double jointed knees. Same thing with the double jointed arms. Oh, let me get away from the camera. Too close. rotate, arms are on a ball socket. So, you know, when I say these, you know, a lot of posability, they do. The only time you're ever really limited is when it's the cloth design, maybe a full torso, that would keep you from being able to really bend it far. So, let's start putting them together. Alright, so got him all put together, finished taking a bunch of photos of him. So this is Hypnos, Thanatos' twin brother. And, of course, he is styled after Hypnos, the Greek god of sleep. Thus sort of the peacock feather motif. It's generally been in classic art assigned to the character or the myth of Hypnos. And in a lot of famous artwork, he appears with the feathers, the peacock feathers around him. So they kind of incorporated that into his cloth design. The wings do not spread out. They're a solid sort of piece. They do turn. The peacock feathers here they're on sort of little ball joints, so those will move for you if you want. And I wanted to show this here. They include something in the package I thought was interesting. I'm going to end up displaying him in his object mode, which I generally don't do, but I will be for this particular character. And they do include a clip here that goes on top of the aftermarket stand. This is the same stand you would add the metal plate to. And again, since I'm not going to be displaying it in this mode, I think I'm going to save the metal plate for when I do decide to put it out that way, or if I can get a black stand to kind of match him. But they do include a clip here that plugs into his back. And I just kind of want to show you they include that. That's nice. Beautiful detail. He was much more straightforward to put together than Thanatos. The nature of Thanatos' sort of plated skirt was real finicky and difficult to get on. This one's a lot simpler. Pretty straightforward. Looks good. As always, Bandai does a super nice job with these. And while I'm thinking of it, pointed out earlier, they did include Pandora's box. It's very nicely done. Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed. I was half expecting a die-cast metal box, and unfortunately it is just plastic, but it does open. And so it's just, Bandai just really pays attention, and this is a nice little accessory to have now that I have both the God of Death and the God of Sleep and Pandora. I'm sure I'm going to do something clever with this at some point, but I wanted to show that. That's very nice. So that's him in sort of his armored mode. I'm going to kind of swap him around, pop the robe on, and then we'll give you object mode. And again, just showing you Bandai paying attention to the little details. They actually include an adapter for the shoulder so that you can get his arm in the upright position and still leave the shoulder blade on so that it can recreate his signature move. And I think that's pretty darn sharp. They call it eternal drowsiness. Hypnos, being the god of sleep, loathes violence and murder, so he chooses to put his opponents to sleep forever. And this is kind of the pose he strikes before it gets all surreal and special effect-y. So nice that they include that, and I just wanted to show that to the audience. And here you go. Basically they include the robe he first appears in, like you saw in the clip at the beginning of the review. Basically you take the shoulders off, take the backpack assembly with the wings off, slide the robe over him, put the shoulders back on, and voila. There you go. I apologize, I'm out of fresh batteries for my rotating stand, so I didn't want to hold up shooting this, so you get me turning it. But yeah, again, always giving you, they just give you every possible option for however you might want to display your own personal Hypnos. Whew, that was an effort. That took far longer than I thought to get this in object mode. So this is going to be how I display it. I'm going to put him next to Thanatos and leave him displayed like this. But as you can see, it's unusual. It's kind of him hunched over. But I'll save you all some effort for those of you that do decide to break down and pick one of these up. When he is wearing the armor on the figure, this part here, sort of the cod plate, hangs from a hook. What the instructions are not clear about is you take it off that hook, swap out this part right here. You'll see when you get the package, there's two of them. Plugs into where the little bar hangs. And then what you do is you squeeze these in and you slide this up, and there are some indents in there that hold it in there. Now, once I figured this out and I looked at the instructions, it was a bit clearer and I saw it, but it took me like an hour to figure that out. So save yourself some trouble. It's beautiful. It's going to look awesome on the shelf with Hypnos. And this bad boy ran about $75 with the metal plate from Angles.com, where I get all of my fine St. Cloth myth. And big thanks to Ken over there. He always takes good care of us. It's a beautiful piece. I'm definitely digging collecting the God cloths, and I'm going to continue to do so as they come out. It's a beautiful piece, a lot of effort, a lot of love went into it, obviously, and I think it's funny for a character that's literally on screen for about 4 minutes tops, maybe 6. But it's nice. If you're a St. Cloth Myth fan, well, it's a no-brainer, you know, you want to collect the gods. And if you're not a fan of the series, well, I have a feeling the peacock feathers might be a turnoff for most of our regular Chogokin collectors, or Chogokin collectors out there. So, you know, your mileage may vary, but for a St. Cloth Myth fan, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You want one. Like I said, you want to get yours, you can get yours at Angles.com, where I get all of my St. Cloth Myth. It's a winner. I like it. I'm glad I'm adding it to the collection. And so, till next time, I'm Adam.
きらめく星座がお前を呼んでるそれは選ばれた戦士の証ギリシャ神話のように眩しい